Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate on the discussion, like everybody here, Rick and Cindy and Pretty Girl's mom, Bev, Tennis Yoga Girl, Linda, all kinds of people waiting here, Our Tiny Acres, everybody checking in. You can join me most weekdays where I go live around 4 p.m. Central Time on YouTube, or outside of my YouTube channel, you could consider joining the Discord I created. There's a link for that down in the description below. Also down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. That is a great place for you guys to get some ideas of the meals that our family has been enjoying or the things I've been eating to help me lose weight. Today is day 787 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose over 235 pounds so far. I have just over 10 months. I'm just finishing up, the end of the year is coming, and then I got 10 months left to go. I'm excited to reach my goal weight and to live the rest of my life at a healthy weight. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you do have any on-scale victories, I love hearing those as well. If you are succeeding with your diet, what are you doing to succeed? Let everybody know. If you're struggling with your diet, what's some of the things that you think are causing your struggles? And what are some of the things that you are going to do that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Let's switch over here. Our Tiny Acre says that you got the Discord working and you posted the creamy recipes. That's awesome. Thanks. You had sent me some photos and I got distracted last night and I hadn't even thought about it again until right now when I saw that. So sorry about that, but I'm glad you were able to get those posted on the Discord. I hope everybody had a great evening last night. It's kind of been a weird 24 hours. I don't think I've really even really comprehended that I'm going to go have surgery in less than 24 hours now. And it's going to change how I can operate for the next kind of couple weeks or a few weeks. So it's been a little bit of, trying to get things together, but also just trying to get ready for the surgery. Carrie's checking in. Hello, Carrie. And Lynn here says you have RA, sugar and oil give you immediate pain. So you have rheumatoid arthritis. And you control the inflammation with diet and it works. Yeah, that's great, Lynn. And thanks for sharing that. I really had a lot of pain in my ankles and I never really noticed much joint pain personally, but a family member, my wife's mom or my mother-in-law, had started to eat a vegan diet and she saw some improvements from making that change. And if you're eating a diet that doesn't have sugar and oil, that's going to really help with that. And I would bet, even if you got rid of the salt, you might see improvements with that too as well. But Carrie says that she has cousins and aunts with rheumatoid arthritis, and you need to share this way of eating with them. Yes, get the message out there that this way of eating is life-changing and that it is really incredible, the benefits that I feel from it and the sustainability of the diet. Like that's something that I really feel like I want people to understand, is that there's so many diets that you can choose. But they're temporary diets. You use these temporary diets and then you go back to the worst diet possible. Like you go between these phases of doing, whatever you want and indulging and having anything you want, to going on these random diets. And all of, like, the one common factor with all of the diets that I've done in the past is that they're unsustainable. You can't keep doing them for more than a few weeks, a few months, at best a year. And I would I'd love to see a graph that shows, the number of people that start a diet and then how long they actually stick to that diet, and what that graph looks like when you extend it out to years and decades. And so many of these diets aren't going to get past even that first 6-month mark, let alone the first year, or to the 5-year, or to the 10-year mark. Our Tiny Acre says getting oils and sugars out helps a ton. Your arthritis and your fibro both get help when you get rid of the sugar and the oil, and that's great. And oil is something that I feel like people understand how detrimental it can be to your diet, but it's so important that you you reduce the amount of oils that you have in your diet, because it's unnecessary and it's just so high calorie. It's such, like, you can ruin an entire meal with just the smallest amount of oil. And a lot of people, and Susan here says, you've told people with rheumatoid arthritis and they won't change their diet. It's so sad. Yeah. This is something I had talked to Carrie a little bit about in the last couple days, is just how much more vocal I feel like I want to be going forward, or I need to be going forward. And now that I've kind of reached this newer kind of weight for me, I feel a lot more confident in being vocal about it. There's no photo of me as an adult where I look better than I do now. And that's something that I really want to share with people. I want people to understand. And like, people are willing to give so many different things a chance, so many different diet styles, give it a shot for a week or 2 weeks, eating some sort of weird mono diet, or eating a carb-free diet, or eating a carnivore diet, or eating a paleo diet, or eating a Mediterranean diet. And they're so willing to give all those diets a try, but then when you say to eat a plant-based diet, their wires get crossed. It's like and it's just wild that they're willing to try all these other diets. Or I spent tons of money on these gadgets and gizmos, thinking that having them would somehow magically help me lose weight by tracking my steps and my heart rate and my metabolism. And really, at the end of the day, the food is what is the life-changing part of the diet. And it's just incredible. And then our Tiny Acre says that that's the case too much, Susan. Yeah, that your sister has brain cancer and she won't listen at all. And it's difficult with that type of thing, because cancer is such a wild, like what we know about cancer. And when cancer becomes present, it's a lot of times it's already to a point where it's only noticeable because it's causing an inconvenience, or it's causing problems. But it would be tough to have somebody that you love. And I do have people around me that I love that I really wish would try eating this way. And it's I don't know how much more I can beat people over the head other than being, the only thing the thing I have to hold on to the most is that the best thing I can do is just be a good example and do what I think is the right thing to do in front of and around them. And, um, and hopefully that eventually I'll rub off, but that could be tough to see, somebody that's unwilling to give food a shot, but at a certain point, food isn't going to cure what the problem is. They may have to do some sort of medical intervention anyways. And so, you can just be there when they get through that. Cindy here says that my story and message is very inspiring. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And let's see, Rick says, and that he has leukemia, and this has worked very well. It has helped with lots of energy. Yeah, I'm glad that you've seen the benefits of eating and what food can do and made the changes in your body. And those are the types of things that I love when people share. Like that is another part of this that isn't out there enough, I'm doing this because I want to change my weight. I never went to the doctor and had a cancer diagnosis or had diabetes or was diagnosed with diabetes or strokes or heart disease or any of the leading causes of death among people. I wasn't that's not my motivation. My motivation is avoiding those leading causes of death, but my major motivation was weight loss, and it has been weight loss. So when I see that this diet does so much for health, and it does so much for weight loss, and it does so much for disease prevention, and it's like across the board kind of improvements that people see from eating this way. I really am struggling to find out where all the pushback is against it. Like the number of people that are are purporting or saying that they're having these incredible benefits is astounding. And I just don't understand why it would be suppressed or why those voices aren't being magnified in some way. But yeah, and Rick, with that, I'm glad you're able to have the energy, and because I know that that's a struggle with that type of thing. And like, I just love that I get to eat an abundance of food. And I think that being able to eat an abundance of food and being satisfied is a huge benefit. And then also the knowledge I've gained from fasting too. And fasting does have benefits when you have illness as well. And, but it's like the pairing of eating this way and fasting seems, um, yeah, I don't know. It goes well, and I never expected it when I started this. That wasn't my intention. Yeah, my motivation are my wife and my kids, absolutely. And being around to see them grow up and get older. And I've talked about that many times, that had I not found this way of eating and, started this channel, that there's a chance that I have succumbed to one of those leading causes of death among our population. And so it's been awesome. And Susan says, you're so impressed with all the books that I've read. That's so cool. And I'm so annoyed with myself, and it's something that I'm probably going to fix here with the surgery, is that I have not listened to a book in a long time. I have not taken the time to listen to, because I don't read, I listen to them. And it was, it's not that I have a lot more that I need to learn, but it's just something that I got away from. But yeah, it, it's really important. And like, I look at the list and the order that I've read the books, and I appreciate the order that I read them in and what each book gave me throughout this whole process. You know, there's things that I might not use or might not be part of my daily life, but just reading some of those books, you know, even like the Wim Hof book, I guess is one I'm talking about. Like, I don't do that type of cold therapy, but understanding that mentality and putting yourself in that stressful situation and learning from that and being able to understand that by doing those practices or that you are preparing yourself for other roles down the line. And yeah, and that was part of this challenge going in, was to research the diet I was going to go on. I did not expect to do as much research as I have done. So, but yeah, I enjoy it. Carrie here says that it's terrible to watch loved ones struggle when you have the key to longevity and they don't want to hear it. And Carrie says she's been using all the Audible credits we have for non-diet books lately. But yeah, the watching people struggle, you know, again, it's just be a good example, you know, like, and I still have another 60 pounds to go till I get to my goal weight. And that is something that um, as I get closer to my goal weight, my confidence to be able to kind of pressure those loved ones is going to increase. I think that, uh, for just telling people about it makes it, um, it might help, but, uh, it's finding a way to make doing this diet easier is what I really feel like I need to find too, you know, because we're creatures of the motivational triad, you know, the seek pleasure, the avoid pain, and the conserve energy. And many times people go to these other diets because it doesn't look like it's going to take a lot of energy to do the diet. Oh, there's lots of this stuff at the store for me to buy. I don't have to do much work to do this diet. Oh, this will be an easy diet for me to do. So I'm going to do the easy diet. But it never works out in the long run. And so if there's a way that I can find how to make the diet look more attractive, then that is what you need to go with. You know, like if it's helping them with a shopping list for the first kind of week, or clearing, you know, like what advice to do, you know, like clearing the pantry. It's so tough to do, but would be the number one thing you can do, is to remove the temptation from the house yourself, and then to just dump all kinds of money into fresh produce and make it your goal to eat through that fresh produce instead of throwing it away. But there's a lot of different things that people's mind, the hurdles that they're gonna put in front of themselves before they'll try this diet, and how do we eliminate those hurdles? And um, by living the life and by succeeding, it may be we won't be able to remove the hurdles, but we can make them look a little bit shorter, or maybe not so many of them. Cindy here says, during my recovery, I should take a look at Dr. Peter Rogers on YouTube. They follow a whole food, plant-based, vegan SOS, and they have great info. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'm really interested too in finding more people that are eating salt, oil, sugar free, because it's been great having all you guys come in that are eating that way and help motivate me and show me that it's doable, and that I'm not the only person trying to eat this way in the world, because it's a bit lonely when it's just you and maybe your close circle, or by yourself, for for many of you out there. I'm fortunate that I have my wife that eats this way. Um, the But that's something that, again, like, finding out more people that eat this way, and uh, helps build the confidence, and understand that it's not just something people do for a short period of time. It's not something I'm just going to do for this challenge, and that's been as big of an adjustment throughout this process as anything, is understanding that I've found the diet that I'm going to eat the rest of my life. It's not that I'm eating this diet until I achieve a goal, and then I will be able to go back to eating junk food, or I'll get to eat these other things. It's not, um, those things will never be a regular or a part of my diet at any point, um, because I don't need it. Susan says here, I think that you only have 60 pounds to your goal. Weight is awesome from where you started. Oh yeah, I am extremely um blown away that I'm there, that I'm at this point. And uh it's the for me, I so many of the hypotheticals that I ran through in my head, I was at my goal weight already. Like, I was at my goal weight within 2 years, and then the whole last year was just me maintaining the weight loss. And um that's not how reality is played out. But um I don't know that I do know that I would not trade the way I am doing it for any of the hypothetical ways, because I know I'm still working towards my goal, and um, there's no letting off the gas right now. So I worry that if I was at my goal, that it would be very easy for me to let off the gas. But this has been much more difficult, as far as the length of time, than I even realized when I went in. So I'm happy to be getting as close as I am. Linda here says that Dr. Peter Rogers is supposed to have a monthly spot on Chef AJ starting next month. That is awesome. Um, that they get together, and I'll have to check that out. I imagine he's been interviewed by Chef AJ then in the past. I don't watch a lot of the Chef AJ interviews, but I imagine that he's been a regular guest there. Janet says, you almost missed today. Well, great to have you here. And we're just kind of, I don't know, rambling like every other day. Let's see, um, Carrie says, do you agree? I have already lost an overweight adult. Yes, I've already lost an overweight adult, and I'm 23 pounds away from losing half of my body weight. That's going to be, like, I feel like I have such a, I could make a milestone out of so many different weights coming up for me. And that is definitely one. Being 260 pounds, I'll be half the size that I was. Um, and that's just wild. And that's really only a month or two away. So I'm excited about that. Um, let's see, our tiny anchors. The sweet doggy stroller your husband bought me just got here. Your dog is old. I don't know what you're saying, our tiny acre. Sweet doggy scroller. My husband bought me just. Okay. So your doggy stroller is there, and you're taking your dog for walks in a stroller is what I'm guessing. That's great. And yeah, we actually, our dog, he's pretty old. I showed some photos of him. Oh, I have to show food photos, I guess. And we actually did get a thing to hook him into to like a wheels for his back legs, but I think it's more for dogs that have stronger upper bodies and aren't just super old. And yeah, Plants Only Muncher says you can't change other people, you can just be a good example. And that's really what I have been focused on doing, is being that good example. And that was you know, I talked about it a lot going into the Thanksgiving holiday, about, you know, getting through the holiday by being a good example. And I felt like I did a great job being a good example this past holiday. You know, I ate an abundance of food, and I ate on diet. I wasn't tempted by any other foods. I had people trying to throw candy at me, and I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need any of your Skittles or any of your candy. And I think that for me, it's nice because I have three brothers that were all very large. And this right now is the first time that I've been the smallest of my siblings. And so I'm excited that I've been able to achieve that. And it's taken a long time for me to do that. And I'm just going to keep making, you know, because being siblings, we always are going to kind of compare each other, you know, especially because, like I said, we've all been 300 plus pounds, or upwards of, you know, 350 at least. I think all of them have weighed at least that much, maybe not, but close to. Anyways, we were all big guys, and now, you know, I think they got to start taking it seriously, especially the longer I'm able to do it too, you know, like getting down to this weight and then not being able to hold on to it is one thing. But getting out of this weight and then losing another 30 pounds and then another 30 pounds is a different thing. Our Tiny Acres, you said your dog will be 16 years old in March. You were picking him up and carrying him in a bag. He's 7 pounds, but your back issues, you don't like him carrying. So the walks have been very short. So it's great that you got a stroller that you're able to take him out. Our old dog, yeah, he's like 15 and a half or getting close to that age. And he amazes me with how well he gets around. And I don't know if it makes, I don't know what difference it has made, but I do know that us bringing a puppy in our house has helped him. Feeding him puppy food for a year improved his health, and now he's been eating a vegan dog food for the last year and a half, and he's still kicking. So it's amazing. P Point says that I'm so close to the 270s. You're making great progress. Yes, I'm so close. I'm really annoyed that I have this surgery happening tomorrow, and it's going to just kind of shake things up. I am excited though that I'm going to get through it without having any I'm not gonna have to worry about really being like the food issues. Like it's somebody was talking today, we were having a conversation, and or maybe was it on stream yesterday? I don't remember, or I was trying to remember the last time that I went out to eat somewhere, and the only thing I can think of is that we went out to eat in a restaurant in St. Louis. I think it was called Seeds or The Seed or something. And I think that's the last time I went out to like a regular restaurant. And but I don't have any interest in going and getting food out. Like it's something where I am very satisfied with the food that I get to eat. And I know that if I went and ate out, that I wouldn't eat, like I wouldn't have a huge volume of food. Like that's the only thing that makes that Chipotle so tempting, is because their burritos are just massive. But it's still not enough food to satisfy me. I would rather go home and eat uh, that much in Spanish rice and beans or some sort of homemade dish because I know I can eat that much food or more and not gain weight or maintain my weight. But yeah, I'm happy to be so close to 270s. 275 is a big milestone for me, and then 260 will be amazing. Like half my body weight will be nuts. Sarasota here says that this diet you are talking about is what you're on for 3+ years, and you're not getting sick anymore, and you don't have to go to the chiropractor anymore. And so plant strong. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you are seeing the benefits from it. You've been doing it for 3+ years, which is awesome as well. That's something that again, I want to see people start, like where are these other diets that people are doing for 3+ years, for 5+ years, for 10+ years, and you're seeing these benefits. Bev here says in South Africa, you have no electricity up to 3 times a day for 2 to 4 hours each time. It's called load sharing. Overnight oats, pocket potatoes are your backups to keep whole food plant-based, and lots of forethought and planning is required. Yes, in having as much food available or ready to eat as possible, or when you can eat, kind of what I talked about, like when you're going and traveling for the holidays, is that when you're able to eat, you eat as much as possible, or make sure you have a very full stomach so that when you're going into those unknown periods that you can get through them, and you have, also the food in your future have kind of, like you said, the pocket potatoes, the overnight oats, all stuff ready to go. That's great that you're able to get through that. And even with all of those things, because I don't have to deal with any of those things, but even with all those things, you're able to make this way of eating work, and you're thriving on it. So yeah, Carrie and Beth, yeah, you definitely need to prepare and perseverance, and it's great though that you're able to get through it. And thanks for sharing that. Actually, let's see, our tiny acres, you've been vegan since 2011, but the last few months you've gotten strict about not doing vegan junk foods. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you have been focusing on getting rid of the junk foods. I don't think that they're necessary. I had a friend of mine that I think he was looking for something to get me for the holidays. He had texted me and said, "Hey, what kind of sweets do you eat?" And I texted him back, and I was like, "Well, uh, dehydrated mango. That's the type of sweets that I eat." Um, and he actually appreciated that because he's my friend that has listened to me ramble about this, I guess. And he's actually had the dehydrated mango from Costco. And he's talked about how much he likes that. So, but it was funny. Like I don't have much of a craving for the junk foods or the candies. Um, there was these freeze dried Skittles getting tossed around at Christmas this past weekend that, in the past, even, during the second year of this diet, that I might have tried them, but I really didn't have any desire to try them. Um, it was just going to taste like sugar, like I know what sugar tastes like, and um, I don't need it to be happy. Carrie says we're gonna have some mango ice cream tonight. Yeah, she has been loving the Ninja Creamy. You know what? I have been going on for 35 minutes here. I haven't even showed the food from the last 24 hours. Oh, come on. Let me see what I even took photos of. That is not a photo. Let me see. So yesterday at 6:19, yesterday at 7. Oh, dinner last night was so good. I ate so much food. Let's see. Um So for dinner last night, we had Mega Veggie Chili, one of my favorites, the staple of our diet. This is the flagship of our diet. This is the first meal that I would say I hated, and then the first meal I would say I love. This was the Mega Veggie Chili, and it was very spicy, lots of jalapeno in it last night. And I had a very large bowl of Mega Veggie Chili for dinner last night. And then the other photo that I took was of some ice cream Carrie made last night. This is a pumpkin flavored ice cream. I think there is like sweet potato in it and all kinds of different pumpkin seasonings. It was I thought it tasted wonderful. It was I don't know that the kids liked it as much, and hopefully they'll like the fruit ones that Carrie is making more. But I really enjoyed it. It definitely had a watery kind of flavor or taste to it, like it could have had more seasoning or something to it. But I enjoyed it a lot, and for not having a lot of spice in my diet, it's gonna be good. You're gonna taste everything that you have. So Janet here says, is it a climb back onto the healthy vegan food now? Our tiny acres. And then she's asking, you made mango with aquafaba whip for your next ice cream. That sounds delicious. And then our tiny acres says, yes, I started with McDougall back then, but an emotional break and started the vegan junk again. And now you're back on it. Well, I'm glad you're back on it. And Monique says, the Ninja Creamer is the best appliance. So I'm excited to, for the next couple weeks at least, while everybody's excited about it at home and trying all these new flavors. We'll see in a month's time or 2 months' time if we're still making ice creams every night. Hopefully it'll save us a ton of money though, because the ice creams are stupid expensive, and they seem to be. Yes, Plants Only Munchers. Yes, the Ninja Creamy was a Christmas present that we got this past weekend. Or that we got, yeah. It was added to the house. So, yeah, it's been something that we've been playing with a little bit. Is it stupid expensive? Yeah, probably. I'm stupid, so I buy expensive things. That makes sense. It was a Christmas present. But yeah, I think we'll get use out of it with our kids. And if it keeps us from buying as much ice cream from the store, that's a huge benefit to me, because like I said, it's really expensive to buy. Or maybe you were talking about the ice. I bet that's what you were talking about, is that the ice cream is stupid expensive. Yes, it is. But it's so good. It tastes so good. And it yes, I know. I got it, Janet. It took me a second. I'm a little slow. Yeah, but it's something that I'm surprised that the times that I've had a vegan ice cream, it's been, I can't compare it to dairy ice cream, and it's been a couple years since I've had dairy ice cream, but I have preferred the non-dairy ice cream. And the way I feel afterwards too, like after eating a non-dairy ice cream, I could eat a whole pint of it and not feel like crap. Whereas if I ate a pint of the old stuff, I didn't feel as good. So, and then Carrie said that we also got a knife here. It's the one from Dylan from While Your World uses. So she feels fancy. Yes, it is very fancy. And yeah, it makes fruit feel more like dessert, Carrie says. Yeah, that's hopefully what we can do with the kids with it. So, um, and then I didn't take photos of the food that I ate today for some reason, but I had oatmeal this morning and then I had some potatoes for lunch. They were not the best potatoes. I think potatoes might go bad if you let them sit in a cupboard for too long. I'm not sure. I still ate them though. And I don't feel bad right now, so I survived. But they were not the best golden potatoes I've had. But they were food for fuel today. P Point asks, how do you get enough calories on a plant-based diet? By eating a crazy amount of food. And since the beginning of this whole challenge, one of the things that I've also held on to is that even if I wasn't getting enough calories, that's the whole point. I want to be eating in a calorie deficit because I want to lose weight and I want to get to a healthy weight. And in order to eat at a calorie deficit, I have found that the best way for me to do it is to eat a large volume of food that is low in calorie density, because that way I get to satisfy my craving to eat large volumes of food. But then it also makes it harder for me to be eating in a calorie surplus every day. So it's something where I eat a crazy amount of food. Volume is going to be my number one answer, is that I eat a lot of calories in the volume of food that I eat. And if I were to weigh it and chronometer it or whatever, I am certain that my food would come in showing that I'm eating at a calorie surplus. But I think that what people miss a lot when you start focusing on calories in, calories out, is the calories that your body actually absorbs. And when you eat highly processed foods or foods that have really any processing, that the processing of the food makes it easier for your body to absorb. So by eating a whole food plant-based diet where the food is minimally processed, the food that I eat is more difficult for my body to absorb. So if I were to eat 200 calories worth of corn kernels, I am going to absorb a different number of calories than if I eat 200 calories of corn syrup. And so I eat a crazy amount of food. I do not worry about the volume of food. I don't worry that I'm overeating calories, because my body isn't going to work very hard to unlock calories from this food if it's getting enough food. If it's already busy working on the nutrients I'm giving it, it's not going to stop working on these nutrients to go work on other nutrients. And that's a big advantage of eliminating the processed foods from my diet. And I had, even though they weren't the best potatoes in the world, I ate 5 potatoes for lunch today. I mean, that's a lot of food, 5 potatoes. The 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 oatmeal we have in the morning, I don't know if it's a half cup oatmeal or if it's a cup oatmeal. If it's a cup of oatmeal that we split, so we each have half cup oatmeal, but it's filled with a ton of spinach and mushrooms and onions. And when I go home tonight, I will eat 1 or 2 servings of food. I do not shy away from the table. I do not push my plate away until unless it's to say that I couldn't put another bite in my stomach. And so I have never worried about the calories. I worry that I eat too many calories. And every time I worry that I've eaten too many calories, I get on the scale and I'm 1/10 of a pound lighter, or I'm a half pound lighter. It's amazing. And also, like, the food that I eat is different. Like, I don't think of food in the same way as I did before, it's and when I eat, yeah, I just eat a lot. Carrie, let's see. Our Tiny Acre says your friend eats a pint of the creamy ice cream a day. You don't think you can do that? That does seem like a lot, Carrie says. Our Tiny Acres also says that they eat a lot of food. Good thing you have a big garden. Monique says that there's some great recipes for the creamer. P Point says you never thought about the absorption rate. That's a great point. Yes, that's something that if I ever write a book, there's going to be a whole chapter about the calories absorbed versus calories out, because I think that there's many things that we get wrong about our digestive system, and that's one of them. I think that white rice is great, but I eat brown rice because I think brown rice is harder for my body to absorb calories from. And I want to I want to make it tough for my body to work on it, because I want it to be easier for it to just pull energy from my fat cells, maybe, or, it's, but yeah, that's why I eat that way. And let's see. Carrie says we split 1 cup of steel cut oats and oat groat mixed. So we each eat about half a cup cooked, or I guess it's half a cup of uncooked oats, but we eat them cooked. Our Tiny Acre says you feel so much better nourished eating a plant-based. You ate way too much junk food when you were eating the standard American diet. I feel the same way. Yeah, this diet, I haven't felt crappy in a very long time now. Like, even when I eat just a stupid amount of brown rice noodles like I had the other day, or the polenta, the meal I had, the white beans and polenta, I ate pounds and pounds of food. And I feel like I should feel guilty in the moment, but immediately I talk myself out of it, because I'm like, I'm never going to feel guilty eating mushrooms and white beans and polenta and spinach and onions. Like, the food that's on my diet, I'm never going to feel guilty eating the food that's on my diet, because everything that's on my diet is food I wouldn't have even considered eating before eating this way. P Point says that you once tried making morning over steel cut oats and mixed it with berries. You didn't taste anything. You're not sure how you messed it up, but maybe it was the unsweetened almond milk. Yeah, oatmeal is a lot about the seasoning that you put into it. I don't really consider the oatmeal to have much flavor. I really enjoy the texture of steel cut oats and oat groats. That's a big reason why I like to eat steel cut oats, oat groats. The other advantage to steel cut oat groats versus rolled oats is that processing that we were just talking about, is that the steel cut oats or the oat groats are harder for your body to absorb the calories from than a rolled oat that's been flattened. And so that kind of helps your absorption thing, or it helps, it causes your body to have to work harder to absorb calories from it. But yeah, it's about the oatmeal that we always really liked was apples and bananas with a little bit of apple juice as it was like, if you put 3 cups of water, like 1 cup of it is apple juice, 2 cups water, or you could do 2 cups apple juice, 1 cup of water. And then we would make bananas and apples oatmeal with that. Maybe throw in some nut butter if you're willing to have the higher calorie dense in your oatmeal as well. But the oatmeal that we have every day right now is a savory oatmeal. We eat it with mushrooms, onions, and spinach. And I really enjoy it a lot. We also put Kirkland's no salt seasoning, a little bit of lemon juice in it as well, and it makes a big difference in the flavor. Carrie says that we attempted overnight oats and we failed. We really love them in the Instapot is how we make our oats. And she gets them set up the night before, and she does a delay start on the Instapot so that when we get up, the oatmeal's ready to go, and it's easy. Our Tiny Acre says you have to try the oats with the steel cut oats and the oat groats because you don't like cooked rolled oats, and Chef AJ made you realize that raw rolled oats was a bad idea because it is very high in calorie density. So yes, I really recommend doing like the mix we do is half oat groats, half steel cut oats, or well, we take 2 bags and we mix them together. And then we scoop out of that mix. So I don't know that it's always half and half every time, but I really enjoy that. It's very satisfying. It's the same satisfaction that I get from eating the brown rice, from eating the barley, all of that stuff. So, and Janet says that buckwheat groats soaked overnight are really good as well. We'll have to try that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I would say that if you're thinking about eating a plant-based diet, and you're worried about not getting enough calories, then make it your goal to try to overeat calories and see if you can. But, you know, it's about calorie density. It's about eating foods that are, you know, left of the red line, or foods that are under 600 calories per pound. Focus on those foods. Try to make that majority of your diet. And then if you do have parts of recipes that require you to use things that are over 600 calories, you know, just use it, but understand that those are the things that are going to slow down weight loss if that's your goal, you know, because there's multiple reasons to start eating this way. Weight loss is one. That's why I started. Another reason would be just overall health improvements, or seeing, you know, there's lots of people that have seen, you know, tonight a bunch of people talk about their rheumatoid arthritis improving from having eaten, you know, starting to eat a plant-based diet. And so it's different. So let's see. Our Tiny Acre says Dr. Esselstyn doesn't need to lose weight though. Rick Hutchinson. Oh, Dr. Esselstyn only eats dry oats. So there you go. Who knows? Do what you like. Yeah. Right. And so it's something that if you like having rolled oats in your diet, I don't think is detrimental. Having rolled oats in your diet is no worse than having oat groats or steel cut oats in your diet. But if you're trying to lose weight and you're not seeing that happen, or you want to improve your chances of losing weight, then avoiding something like rolled oats would help you to lose weight. But they're not taking anything out of the rolled oat to make it a rolled oat, and they're not adding anything. So as far as food wise go, health wise, I don't see that there would be a difference in eating a rolled oat than an oat groat, because there's no different. If they take that rolled oat and they marinate it in something, then that would change it, but that's different. So, and then, let's see. Janet here says that she's got, it looks like a recipe that she uses her buckwheat groats in. And then she also puts cinnamon and vanilla powder in there, and you can top it with pomegranate and cutie orange sections. Sounds delicious. P Point says cinnamon. You should have thought of that. Yes, cinnamon is something that, yeah, we use a lot of cinnamon in our flavor. Like the seasonings are a huge part of our diet. You know, the mega veggie chili. I love the mega veggie chili, but if it didn't have the chipotle sauce or seasoning that we put on top of there, I might not like it as much as I do. And so yeah, having good seasonings makes Makes a difference. Monique says that you love raw, old-fashioned oats with plant milk and grapes cut in half. It's an Esselstyn, and Ann Esselstyn eats them that way. It sounds interesting. I don't think I'd never really thought of having oats with grapes cut in half before. So that sounds good. I think I'm going to head out for today. I didn't really talk much about surgery, I guess. So maybe I'll talk a little, but, so tomorrow I am having surgery. My surgery is like middle of the day. I haven't really talked to Carrie about the schedule yet. And so if I'm able to get in and weigh in the morning, I'll weigh in, but I don't know. But I know for sure that I will not be going live tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be back in the office before Friday or not, or if I'll be back next week. But I'm gonna try to do a weigh-in tomorrow morning before the surgery, and then I'll try to update you guys on how things are going. I'll probably post things maybe on the Discord, is where I'll post some things. But Carrie says, tonight we're having eggplant and potatoes in the tomato sauce tonight. She's pretty excited. Jane says, you'll say a prayer for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I appreciate all of your guys' support, and I'm not excited about having surgery, but I am excited about being able to get through the surgery and being able to stay compliant on my diet, not make food an issue. And it's just going to be kind of a couple days that I'll be out of it for the surgery. Like it's I'll have to go under anesthesia, so that always throws me off. And if they do a nerve block like they did last time, that's really weird. Having a nerve block and not being able to feel anything on part of your body is pretty odd. So anyways, thank you guys for the support. I'm sure everything will go pretty easy tomorrow. And that's the note I was looking for earlier that has my times on it. And so, yeah, they never last long enough on you. Yeah, they lasted quite a bit on me the last time they did one. So hopefully it shouldn't be an issue. Barb says, I bet you'll still lose weight. I might still lose weight, especially with it being my dominant hand, the hand that I feed myself with the most. I might not eat as much. So, anyways, yeah, surgery tomorrow. Fun stuff. Try to weigh in tomorrow. I'll let you know. If not, it'll probably be a week or so before I do weigh in. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, I have to fast. And then they scheduled me for a midday thing, so I can't eat anything after midnight tonight. So they said that if you go to bed early, which isn't a problem for me, that I should wake myself up and eat food at 11:30 tonight and then go back to bed. And so I don't think they know who they're talking to. I think I'll be able to handle fasting for 13, 14 hours. But I do have to stop and get some tortilla shells so I can have chips for when the surgery's done. So I'm going to get off here and do that. So anyways, thanks you guys for supporting the channel, and I will be back on tomorrow. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. If you've not clicked on the bell icon to get alert when I go live or post new videos, please do that. And if you've not liked this video, commented down below, I'd appreciate that as well. Last but not least, if you have not started your diet, get started right now. There's nobody that reaches their goals and wishes they would have waited. Everybody who reaches their goals wishes they would have started sooner. You guys all have a great night.